Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I hope you are all doing well. Today is your preview, of course, as Leeds United will face Coventry at Elland Road this Saturday. And I can't lie to you, I'm nervous ahead of the game. Of course, I can hear a lot of you now saying, we should be winning this. But Coventry City aren't a bad side. Yes, they're not in great form. But Matt Robbins last season had Daniel Farke's number. And I'm a little bit concerned that if we see the same again, that we might struggle in this game. But everything is pointing towards a Leeds United win. And of course, I hear you say Leeds that, they're in poor form, da-da-da-da-da. But we booked that trend with Cardiff last weekend. Remember, they'd conceded 11, scored 1. Oh, no, we're going to lose. We beat them 2-0 and comfortably doing so. I know people wanted more goals. I know fans still aren't happy, but it was still a comfortable routine win. 79% possession tells you that. Look, Leeds United will be aiming to close in on the top two. Okay, we're currently sat in 5th. We're looking to close in on the top two. And of course, we will welcome an out of sorts Coventry City team to Elland Road for what would be, it's a tasty looking championship tie. Let's be honest. It is. I know they're not in great form, but it's two top teams that'll be there or thereabouts by the end of the season. Leeds top of the league, Coventry in the playoffs. I still think they'll get there. Now, of course, Leeds are 5 points currently behind West Brom and 4 behind second place Sunderland. Now they've set off like a house on fire, much like Preston did. I'm not sure they'll have the staying power, but I'd like to see both teams lose, ideally, if we can, and Leeds United pick up 3 points. Because as we know, we're going into another international break soon, and ideally, I want Leeds, positioned close to that top 2 spot. Ideally before the international break, or certainly after we've beaten Sheffield United when we return. As I said, last time out, Leeds United recorded a very comfortable 2-0 win against Cardiff City. But the Sky Blues, of course, Coventry City, Matt Robbins' Coventry City struggled against Swansea, went down 2-1 in the end. I think 2 early goals were scored by Swansea as well. So, not in great form right now. And look, some Leeds fans would argue that Leeds are in great form, even though we've only lost 1 game this season in the league. But of course, there are many, many critics of Daniel Farke's style. For some, it's laborious. It's, it's pedestrian. It's left and right. We continue to play with Ampadu and Ilya Gruev, which I'm okay with, by the way, as you know, because I feel Gruev's playing predominantly as an 8, although he's a defensive-minded player. But look, that might change. That could change this weekend if Strauch's injured, because, of course, it would mean, for me anyway, I don't think he would start the Bayo. Ampadu goes in at centre-back. But I'm hopeful, fingers crossed, that Strauch makes it. And we'll probably still see Ampadu and Gruev in this fixture. Daniel Farke was talking about, 3 games in 6 days and different tactical setups and changing it when asked about Pirro and Joseph. I just don't see he's a manager that does that, if I'm being totally honest. And if you're winning games of football, I don't mind it. So I expect to see, if you want my honesty opinion, the exact same lineup, barring any injuries. What I will say, though, Leeds, for me, are in decent form, having only lost once in the league. We've only got 1 win out of our last 4 at Elland Road, though, obviously. So that's not great going, is it? That came against Hull City. We've had a couple of draws in there as well. So that's not good. And that was a fortress for Leeds United last season. So that needs to change. And hopefully it will change against Coventry. Obviously, as I've said, Coventry, difficult side, came to Elland Road and got a point, last season. So that needs to change. And look, Coventry City were tipped as early pre-season favourites. Some even saying, could they push for the top 2 finally? But they've won just 1 of their first 6 league games, which doesn't make great reading for Coventry City by any stretch of the imagination. There's even talk online that Matt Robbins has had a lot of money to spend. Yes, he's lost Gyökeres and Hamer, but he's not really showing the fruits of that labour. And Coventry, having spent a lot of money, I think it's 40 million over the past couple of seasons, they want to be, closer. Look at Corberan, for example, spent next to nothing. And look where they sit. So they've enjoyed a major decline in performances and results over these recent weeks. I think their winless streak now stretches to 4 games following that 2-1 defeat against Swansea. And they've earned just 2 points during that run as well. So just 2 draws within them 4 games. And look, Leeds fans did this. I'm not sure I agree when we were saying, we've only won 4 in 14, whatever it was. But if we were to do that to Coventry, they've won just 1 of their last 12 championship matches, which ain't great. And, they have some great players. Jack Rodoni, Sakamoto, Van Eerwyk. Of course, Hadji Wright and Ellis Sims, who are their key men. Ben Sheaf's back in the side, I believe. I think he was on the bench last game, but could start this one. But Hadji Wright and Ellis Sims, they've struggled to get going this season. For Coventry City, I think they've only just got a goal apiece, or maybe a goal apiece in the last 12 fixtures. So it's not great. It's not great. Coventry are in great form, but I am still really, really concerned about this Coventry City side because Mark Robbins did have Farke's number, as I said last season. We got 1 point out of a possible 6. I expect them to adopt a low block, and I expect them to try and catch us on the counter. Ideally, I'd prefer Strauch at centre-back and Ampadu in midfield, and I don't think they'll create much even on the counter. If we're going to go for corners, etc., which we're woeful at, I'd ask us to keep a couple of men back so they can't do that, because that's where a lot of joy has been coming for our opposition of late. What we need to do is obviously just be clinical. I don't think the manager's the problem here. For me at the moment, it's the clinicality. It's the players missing chances. If we go back to a number of games this season, had Leeds been able to finish the dinner, we wouldn't have lost. Like, we'd have beaten Portsmouth on that first day. We'd have beaten Burnley. We could have had more against Coventry. Again, I'll reiterate, that's not on the manager, that the players are profligate in front of goal. Pressure's on Joseph, not like, oh, we need him out of the side, but just for his own professionalism, he'll be thinking behind his back, he keeps scoring off the bench, and I've only scored 1. But of course, his game is more than that, because we've seen him get goal involvements. He's scored on international duty. He is in hot form for me, although his record just says 1 goal, but he's a very good player. So yeah, he'll feel that. I'd like to see Nonto, do more in front of goal. He should have more than he's got. He's missed a couple of gilt-edged chances now. It's been very good, especially in the last game. I say very good. He was very good in the last game. Prior to that, I don't think he's been amazing, but he was last time out. I think it'll be the same lineup for Ramazani. The midfield strong. I don't see them creating much. Obviously, Ben Sheaf, one to watch out. Sakamoto as well up against Firpo might have a few knocks. That could be an interesting tussle, an interesting battle. I've rated him whenever I've saw him play. But yeah, look, I'm going to go for a 2-0 Leeds win. That seems to be my scoreline that I've gone for. No, it's 2-1. I think they might score. I do think they might score, but I do think Leeds United will win. And look, if West Brom or Sunderland drop points, I'm not concerned about them right now, but I just think for the wider picture, if they were to drop points and we were to gain points, it would make the fan base just calm down a little bit. A win against Coventry is a very good result, regardless of the form. If they were to drop points, the fan base calms down a bit. We look at it and we go, right, okay, yeah. And we got Norwich Tuesday, we got Sunderland. Let's see where, we could be sitting top of the tree, or at least, third, there or thereabouts, Even 6 is good enough for me, but I'm just trying to think of the wider picture. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, please, because, it's been a bit up and down of late for everybody. But, I think Leeds United will win the game. I don't think it'll be easy. I could see Coventry scoring, so I'm going to go for a 2-1 Leeds United win. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get them comments in, hit that notification bell, and, I'll see you in a bit. Peace out. Leeds is Leeds.